Man, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. As they say, we back in the house after taking a short break. And I'm going to tell you what we did after taking our short break. So, I'm not even going to, reveal that until I get my guests on here tonight and tell you what we've been doing. But, man, it's your boy. Welcome back to season number 4. Can I believe it? Season 4 of the one and only award-winning The Pull Up Podcast Show. It is not an award-winning show without you as my guest, and I appreciate all you guys do for checking in with me. Fan appreciation show, Bella baby, making sure she ride or die. We was kicking it in the D together, pulling up there. Brother Anthony, Shannon handed us some stuff out. Me and Val gonna talk about that a little bit. But I got my sidekick. We coming like Tonto and the Lone Ranger tonight. You know what I'm saying? Batman and Robin. We riding together like that tonight, But before we get started, before we jump off into season number 4, episode 401, before we jump this season off, you know my words. Val, drop it.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the boys and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the boys and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Man, welcome back with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and this is the Pull Up Podcast Show, while we bring you quarter by quarter of sports information and more. Tonight, riding sidekick with me is my one and only ride or die, my girl, Val the Voice Johnson. Step out. What's happening with your girl? Don't be hiding back there. Come on out here.
Hi.
Man, we've been busy the last couple of weeks.
I know. And I wanted to say hello and welcome, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be kicking it with you, Coach. Doing the thing that we do. We like to kick it.
I like to kick it and have fun. It's been great. I appreciate you. I've been getting so many calls and text messages and, in the grams, like, man, I'm seeing your commercial. I'm seeing little tidbits of this and that and whatnot. And we want to let you guys know, of course, you'll hear it tomorrow night as well on Interludes. But, Val and I had an opportunity to get off to the D a few weeks ago as we took the show, kind of say on the road, and got an opportunity to get a couple awards, in the category of content and development and stuff like that. And brother, Speaker T, as we call him, and brother Anthony D. Shannon awarded Val and myself. And we just had a blast. I want to just thank the family for welcoming us to Detroit and just opening up the church and just had an absolutely great time. So, they're constantly with us, Bella baby on tonight, and it was just living through the champion, man. The breakfast was great and just had a wonderful weekend, man. How did you think about it, Val?
You know what? I really had a great time, and I am now happy to say that we are an award-winning podcast platform. So I have my award hanging in the background. I don't know if you can see that, but that's cool. But
I just had a chance to put it up. I'm gonna get it there.
So I like that type of recognition, and of course, when you get recognized, it's a beautiful thing, and. Yep. For the mentorship and coaching that you do, Coach, that's the reason why you were honored as well. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't he look so nice with all his smiles? I put this post on LinkedIn, and so I was thinking this is amazing. But we want to thank everyone at the Leaders Live Generously, the entire staff of the Victory Church in Westland, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. Oh gosh, that game last night. We're not going to talk about that. So yes,
I almost didn't want to speak to it after that game last night, but as Val was alluding to, it was absolutely just wonderful. And matter of fact, Val, I got some more pictures came back. Been I thank my girl Deborah who took the pictures backstage. I got some, man, she took some beautiful headshots. I know you've been talking to me about getting a few and posting some of that. And I got one with the award, so we're going to put it up. But tonight, everybody's checking in tonight on the show. Make sure that if you have any comments or questions, please put them in the tagline so we can see what you are thinking about, and do a few house cleaning note for us. One, make sure you share the show with your friends, your family. Make sure they're sharing it with the people that they know. Make sure you pull up on us every single week at this time at 8 p.m. And more importantly, subscribe to the show. That's how we can grow our audience and make sure we're just continuing to give you the stuff that we want. Tonight, Val and I are going to dip a little bit into the NFL. We know that it's only week number 2. We're going to break down the conferences and how things are going. Then we're going to shift gears later on and talk a little WNBA because I like the women. And I love that. Val, as you mentioned a moment ago, I'll get back to our Bears. I can't start talking about the Bears because it'll just throw me off on everything I got. But what I do want to start is in the AFC East, where Buffalo has control of the AFC East. And as we can see, the Buffalo Bills under my boy Josh Allen has got off to a tremendous start. But what surprises me is New England, the Patriots right there, sitting 1-1, because I would have thought possibly the Jets or maybe the Dolphins, but Buffalo has came out and beat Baltimore. And then they came back and won last weekend, and Josh Allen is looking pretty strong in that division and whatnot. What do you think about Buffalo having a lead in that AFC East division right now, Val?
Well, this definitely sets them up well in the start of the season. And to me, people are looking at you, checking you out, and making sure that it's all about the defensive line. So I feel like this is going to be good for the Jets. Their defensive line has been looking a lot better.
Bills, you mean?
What'd you say?
The Bills, you mean?
The Bills, I mean, exactly.
Yeah,
throwing it right back to you.
And I like the defensive line is on there, but what's killing me is that Josh is throwing the ball in the air. And here's the crazy part about it: if you let the Bills get too far ahead, the snow is coming in Buffalo. Right.
They're like Chicago, but probably worse because they're close to Canada.
Yeah. The Chicago, we're gonna get some sub-0 degree weather, so you got to play in that. But Buffalo, they got that snow value come in as you was a kid. We used to play around the city of Chicago, play football in the park, tackle a guy and throw the snow in his face. I mean, I love those type of games because for promotional purposes only, those are the type of games that you're not going to see a lot of passing, but you're going to pick up, the boys on the ground running the ball, and it's been amazing, But I think Buffalo is going to finish the season up, and I don't think that personally, I don't think they lose the East this year. I think they win the East. Now, the surprising story that happened yesterday is if we move to the AFC North, just to the left right there is the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Bengals, I don't know if you guys saw the game yesterday, but Joe Burrows hurt his ankle. Looked like it may be season injury. It may be season ending as well. And they are right now 2-0, surprising some folks right now in Cincinnati. But the question is, if Joe Burrows goes down as the QB, can Cincinnati hold on, or can they hold back my Ravens? And of course, as I told you guys before, I think this is Lamar Jackson's season. I think the Ravens go on. I think they had a wake-up call, lost a close game in Buffalo. Game 1, came back and they won. But if the Burrows can't play, I think the Ravens may mess around and take the AFC North. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think here's the thing: if the team goes on and puts all of their hopes or puts all their eggs in one basket, that's always dangerous. And so I feel like I think they said at the time that he got injured, it was a little unsure, according to some folks. Mm-hmm. But they got the next 4 games on the road against Minnesota. Minnesota Vikings, and then also I think they're going to be going against Detroit and also Green Bay. So I feel like it's going to be fine for them, and I feel like that it's that particular that player Joe. It's not. He's not the. I don't want to call him the franchise player. Everyone's not gonna put all of their hopes on Joe. There's other players that's doing a great job, and that's why they ended up winning. And I'm there. Yeah.
Because you got Chase and Lamar's doing some things right there, but the problem is that Joe Burrow's he's that pretty QB, and without him, it's hard to get that ball. And as you just mentioned, Minnesota is struggling right now. I think that if the Bengals can do what they got to do, they get by that game. I think Detroit is struggling right now. I know they blew out the Bears yesterday, but they 1-1. I think that the Bengals, if they play, they can possibly get. I don't know if that game is going to be in Cincinnati or on the road, but I think they don't lose until they get to Green Bay. Green Bay is rolling. We'll talk about them in a minute. But I still think that if Lamar Jackson can turn around and the Ravens can pick up a win this week, and the Bengals get a loss this week, because, again, as you say, 4 weeks out for a quarterback, that's a whole month, right? So that's about a third of the season, right? About a third of the season that'll be going down. So if Joe Burrow's even come back, and this is week 2 and he's down 4, you're looking at he won't be back, Val, to probably week number 7, possibly week 8. And then it's going to take a little bit to kind of get back in the rhythm. So we're going to see what happens over there. I thought you were a Steelers fan in that division. Didn't you like Pittsburgh or no?
No, let me look and see who I actually like in these folks that are winning or in the top 3 or 4 here. I care only about the Chiefs, Kansas City, because they're close to
0-2 right now. As we talk about them, they are 0-2. So the problem becomes: is it the Taylor Swift situation? Or is it just Patrick Mahomes and people figured it out? Now, don't get me wrong. They played 2 good games.
They did.
Back-to-back Super Bowl rematch, right? Not a lot of people do that now, not this early.
No, they don't.
Philly and KC met yesterday, and I take it back to that deep in the third quarter. Patrick Mahomes driving, throws the ball to Kelsey, interception in the end zone, 60-yard run back, and Jalen Hunt made him pay for it. The little push 2 times to get into the end zone. No look back. Philly runs away, wins the ball game. And it's kind of crazy. Trey, big dog, check it in. And Trey says, Coach T, the Bills are going to be undefeated in the AFC East with Joe Burrow and no offensive line. The Bengals have no shot. The Bengals have the weapons on offense and I believe that is absolutely true. But again, though, Trey, if you don't have Joe Burrow behind that line, who do you bring in as a quarterback when you're facing the same conference with the Ravens? And the Ravens, I already know, are going to dominate, like you just said. I got the Ravens to win the North as well, and I don't think so. But let's stay over here real quick, Trey. Let me think what we're talking about with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they are 0-2, Val.
I don't like that. I'm a little hurt. I'm a little hurt. Why do you love that? Why do you love that?
Because, first of all, it's like when they hated on Jordan and the Bulls, right? Because they thought what we were doing, we winning all them rings. If Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey is what they supposed to be, you're down 0-2. Now, we got 15 games to go. Can Kansas City turn it around? If you can show me that KC and Mahomes can turn this ship around and get to the playoffs, which they will, but back to the Super Bowl, I don't know. I don't think so, Val. I think the mountain's too tough this year.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It could be a distraction among the players with the Taylor, the Swiftie thing. I don't think. But here's the thing. What people do in their personal lives, they do in their personal lives. It's no big deal. But I believe that I'll see what they're doing in like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Because if they, because like my Bears, I think things can turn around. It can turn around. I don't know, but I just have to have a whole lot of prayer. That's on my side. You don't pray, but I give it to you.
In 3 weeks, if they go undefeated in 3 weeks, they still 3-2, right? And if the Buffalo Bills don't lose a game in 3 weeks, they 5-0. You see what I'm saying? Hey, we're gonna continue this discussion on the other side, but we got to pay a few bills, and we'll be right back. Season number 4, first episode with me and my sidekick, Val the Voice Johnson. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show in one moment.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the KeySpot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. KeySpot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. KeySpot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Man, welcome back. Season 4 with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. This is the Pull Up Podcast Show. You ride it out with my sidekick right here. My roadie does everything for me to make the show a successful hit. That's Val the Voice Johnson. And speaking of that, real quick, but I want to pay some good homage to a group of people. You know, I just had an opportunity to meet my boy Larry Kelly and his family. Met him the other day, hanging out at the bar and all that. Well, you know, of course, Tony's, fall through every now and then. But
he makes friends everywhere, just like my friend Princess. You too. I don't know.
Big time Michigan people. So Val, I wasn't loving nothing about that at all. But Larry, hey, great. He's got his thing going on. Big time construction company here in Tennessee. There's all his family. He got some Michigan State people up in there with him, and he's a Michigan State fan. A couple of family members of Michigan. But I just want to tell them thank you. Told them about the podcast. They pulled up on me tonight. So I just want to make sure I give them a big shout out on the show. And thank you and welcome to the Pull Up Podcast Show.
That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, yeah. Now, as we finishing up this AFC, put that AFC picture back up again as we finish.
There we go.
So now let's go down to where I think a surprise is at, and that's the AFC South. That's Indiana and behind Richardson, the quarterback right now. The Colts right now, Val, is in our division, the lovely Tennessee Titans. It's a push and pull because I love my Bears, but I'm down here with Tennessee. I got to support them. And I love what Cam is doing. Cam Ward, the number 1 pick overall. Trey, I don't know what you're thinking about them. And, you're here. But it's hard to see Cam working so hard and getting the ball to receivers and they dropping passes, not getting the blocking, what's going on. And what I do know about this division, Val, the AFC South kind of reminds me kind of the NFC North, which we'll talk about with the Bears. And that is you cannot get behind. In each and every year, it's pretty much either the Colts, the Titans, and the Texans are usually the 1, 2, 3 up top. And this year, behind quarterback Richardson, he's got them rolling. Pretty boy Sunshine's doing some work down in Jacksonville. But I think that in a way, I'm kind of like you just said a moment ago about Kansas City. I'll look and see the next 2 or 3 weeks. And if in the next 2 or 3 weeks, if the Colts can be, say, 4-1 or 4-2, and the Titans, don't get enough wins, and if they can't get above 500 in the next, say, 3 or 4 weeks, like you were talking about, it's going to be a very long season for the rookie.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the very first week, the very first 2 weeks, it's telling to see where folks are, but things could be completely different and literally 2 to 3 weeks. At the end of the very beginning of October, things can be totally different. These things can jumble up very quickly. I got friends, I have family down in Houston that is really rooting for the Houston Texans. They are really rooting for them.
Yeah, I like CJ Stroud too. I love CJ. CJ. It is amazing that they 0-2. They lost yesterday. It's amazing on that valve because I'm sorry, they didn't lose yesterday. They're playing tonight right now. I apologize. They're playing Monday Night Football tonight. So they got to win tonight. But Houston was one of those teams, Val, at the beginning of the year that I really thought was going to make a very, very big run this year.
Yeah, I thought, here's the thing, we were seeing, how did they end up last year? I feel like
they made the playoff last year. They made a good run at the end. They just kind of didn't have enough, gas in the tank, so to speak, to finish out. And then, of course, Baltimore went on and did their thing. And then, of course, Buffalo and Kansas City end up representing in the AFC Championship game and whatnot. But CJ was young in the second year. This is his third year. And this is a contract year. For a lot of people don't realize, this is his third year in the league, and the big question is now, Val, these guys don't make what they call they NFL money till they sign in the contract. So we'll see if he gets by and be able to sign that brand new contract after this year.
Yeah. So we'll be looking at CJ Stroud and how he does. And here's the thing, the contracts will come when the wins show up. The contracts will come when the wins show up. That's what I've learned.
CJ, you better listen to Val. That's why they call it Val's voice. She done already told you. You win, you get paid. You don't win,
you get paid.
Right? You win, you get paid. You don't win, you be traded. Right?
You're up here trying to rap like a rhyme like a rap artist. Look at you.
But and you kind of took the answer away from me earlier because I was going to ask you, before we go to the NFC, looking at the entire AFC, who is the most surprising team of them all right now that you can't believe? And of course, you said the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's what I was going to say. I just can't believe they got off to an 0-2 start. But the big question is that I'm going to put into the audience for you guys is, that's what I love about the NFL, other than college football, right? The NFL, we ain't got time for that. 16-game season, you got to play everybody you think you can play. You can't play these little cakewalk games and then all of a sudden think at the end of the year you're going to be there because you're not prepared. So the question is, even though KC has started the season off 0-2, can they recover? Can they recover? Because, Val, these boys are like AI. It's hard to shut it down, right? It's hard to shut it down. Because they've been in the last, 4 or 5 playoff championship game. Patrick Mahomes this is a machine out there right now, Andy Reid, and what he's got going on. So to have, let me give it to you 2 ways, people, for promotional purposes only. As a pitcher, if the season continues the way it is, we're going to look at Buffalo playing the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship. If there's a dark horse long shot in 5 weeks, as Val the voice said, we're going to check back in 5 or 6 weeks. If the KC Chiefs has gone 3-0 or 4-0 in this next stretch, and they're now 4-2, different ball game, right, Val? Because at 4-2 with 11 games to go, anything can happen. You got to come. And the big thing that people don't realize is KC, Buffalo, Baltimore, New England, you got to come play in the snow. So that changes the whole dynamics of the entire game. That's why Green Bay is so tough up in Lambeau, man. You got not only playing the snow, it's going to be 0 degrees.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember the teams that have enclosed stadiums, and I feel like those are all of the teams that are south.
Correct. And I'm thinking to myself, why the hell you got an enclosed stadium in the South? But you scared of the rain? That's what I love about Miami. They got an open dome down there in Florida and whatnot. They got a brand new stadium, but they elected not to close it. So you go down there and play. You may be in the rain pouring down in the monsoon. That's like playing in the snow. You can't get no foot in, no good grip in the mud.
I know. But here's the thing. I think depending on where everyone is and literally at the beginning or in the middle of October, exactly 1 month from now, then you'll be and we'll have to see what the performances are from all of the quarterbacks. It's a matter of just being able to show up and fight for every win in the beginning.
Yep.
Let's not wait till the end of the season. In the beginning, fight so that there is a fighting chance for you to make it to the playoffs. That's my thing. If you
I
can
think the
show
money
at the
rules that,
beginning,
though, Val. I think the money.
what happened?
I think the money rules that. I think that they give everybody a show, make it interesting, want to keep everybody tuned in, because if it's a blowout, people are going to tune out and start looking at the WNBA, the NBA or college basketball. But if it's close, football, they're going to stick right there. They want to know what's going on. So, and speaking of going on,
I'm gonna need you to lean in. I need you to just lean in a little bit. I need you to lean in. I need to find out something. What happened? What happened with the Bears, bro? What happened? I watched both of those games. It broke my heart.
Bring up the NFC right now. That's what we're about to talk about. Bring up NFC.
I'm bringing it up.
And we're going to start with our own black and blue division. And right now, the Bears are black and blue. That's exactly what they are. Because they done got the hell whooped out of them. Mama told you 3 words when you go in this store, Chicago Bears. Don't touch nothing. Don't ask nothing. And you ain't getting nothing. And they done broke all 3 rules through game 2. They let Detroit pimp them like they was on the corner yesterday. Like, where my money? I'm like, what? I'm like, hey, I'm up in there now. I'm sounding like Lil Jon. What? Yeah. Ooh. I'm up there like Lil Jon. Crazy.
I had friends of mine that made the drive because they're such big Bear fans, and we just found out. Well, I just found out that Michigan is only 4 hours away, so they drove 4 hours to watch the Bears lose.
Ooh-wee.
This was heartbreaking to me, and I was watching this on the road. I almost threw my phone out of the window. I'm like, what are we doing? Okay.
That was a long ride back home. I can tell you that's what you was doing. You should have got some Coney dogs while he's up there. That would have been better. I'm like, man, what the hell? Hey, I'm going to tell you that Jay Johnson and Caleb Williams, they got some answers. Johnson's got some answers as a coach, because you can't put everything on this quarterback, right? You're getting sacked. You're getting ran out the pocket. The running game is not there. Caleb Williams can only do so much. You got to block up front for me, Val. You got to give me some type of protection. You know what I'm saying? But looking at this division right now that you see in that division, 2-0 Green Bay Packers, the Packers are going to be tough. Caleb Love has got it rolling right now, and I don't see them losing anytime soon. And they got the Bears next. So unfortunately, Val, you're going to get a chance to stay at home this time without driving, because they got the Bears, and Green Bay going to go 3-0, and the Bears will be 0-3 after this week. I'm sorry. I love our Bears, but I don't see them beating the Packers this week.
Yeah. So I'm all I can do is when my friend told me that when he went up there to see the Bears in Detroit, and he was like, yeah. So when things started really falling apart around the third quarter, I just started drinking, and I decided, hey, I'm going to spend the night here in Detroit because I'm too drunk to drive back to my house, because
drove you to drink real.
He pretty much he was driven to drink because he was so disappointed in our Bears. So I'm going to continue to pray, because this 0-2, I was getting flashbacks with the former Bear quarterback. Remember him?
Justin Fields. He's now in New York, but he 0-2 as well.
So here's the thing: it takes offensive linemen. It takes an entire team to win games. You can't just put everything on the one. Put
the NFC up. Take the AFC down and put the NFC up forward. And the thing is, I'll make you happy with that, because changing that, at least to give you some sort of smile, is our boy Jalen Hunt killing, with Philly. And I'm gonna actually holler at him and see if he can send me a Philly steak or something, because they rolling, because they 2-0 right now. Play great. The defense looks good. I don't see them in any slump. And the crazy part about it, they're doing everything right now. AJ Brown is not even, he's not even in the game, this season, where they're not even targeting him for reception. Devontae Adams doing his thing, but you got to be able to look, at A.J. Brown at some point. But Saquon Barkley on his way. I don't think he'll get 2,000 yards this year, but I'm going to say he's going to get about 1,500. And I think he's going to be okay. And the crazy part about it is Washington, they're number 2 in that division at 1-1, and right now. And I think that, Daniels got a chance to put them back on the map. And I know Dak and the Cowboys, America's team, everybody talk about the Cowboys and all that. I just think the Cowboys is in trouble. They're in a very tough division. I don't think they're going to beat Washington. They lost a very tough first game of the year against Philly. And then now they got to take the second game of the year in Philly, and there's going to be snow on the ground. Again, I talk about this snow. So I think Prescott's in a tough situation. I don't think Dallas come out of the third slot. And I think Philly walks away with this division, possibly playing Washington to get out to go to the NFC Championship. What do you think?
Well, I'm looking over here at I'm actually looking at the NFC West, and I'm checking out the 49ers.
That's my nephew. I'm going to shout out to nephew, Juwan Jennings, baby, number 15. You don't know who he is. You better watch him. Brand new contract with the 49ers. Think he can help him get back to the show. I like that. I like that pick over there. I like the Niners, Val.
Yeah, so I'm keeping my eye on them, and also I'm keeping my eye on the Eagles because I did see that first week matchup with the Eagles, and like I said, they won the Super Bowl last year, earlier this year, right? Exactly. So I'm always got my eye. But here's the thing: over the last 7 years, it has been anyone's game. It has been very few people, with the exception of Kansas City, that has done like a repeat. So it's been here, it's been there, and we could just make this assumption and go, oh, it's going to be this team. It's going to be Philadelphia. It may not be. We don't know yet. It's still early. Everything is still early.
I like that. Well, we're going to take a halftime break, and then I'm going to force Val, for promotional purposes only, give me her Super Bowl picks from the NFC and the AFC, and then Coach Tony going to give you his, and then we're going to bring up the WNBA. We'll be right back after this halftime break.
And it was like a really big deal back in the 90s. And even if you remember, what is his name? He played on the Five Heartbeats.
Harry Lennox is from Chicago. Okay, Leon.
If I say his name, you'll know him. That's it, Robert. Yep. He came to one of our shows because his mom was an avid Awakening watcher.
Wow.
And and he loved the show, and we filmed him sharing his thoughts about the Awakening on one of our broadcasts.
Robert Townsend liked the Awakening. Let's go. His mama did.
His mama loved it. Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. Well, like I said, this is going to be very encouraging to a lot of my audience that do dramatic acting, or there's always an arts ministry that's happening in a church. Something that stood the test of time and then went on to win a Stellar Award and 2 Emmys. That's really amazing.
Man, welcome back to the third quarter of the Pull Up Podcast show with your boy, Coach Tony, and my sidekick, the one and only Val, the voice. We're going to start off with Coach Justin's comment, and I like it. And I got something pulled up for you, Coach Justin. Coach Justin said, hands down. Put your hands down. Put them up, put them down. Put them up, put them down. Baltimore Ravens, enough said, Super Bowl winner. So here it is right here, Coach Justin. Here is your 2026 odds maker for promotional purposes to win the Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills right now lead it at a plus 550. The Baltimore Ravens is second with a plus 550. So they basically tie Toss them up, quarter toss. On that third place, the Green Bay Packers at a plus 600. The Eagles, who are undefeated, is a plus 750. I think I'm going to take that. The Kansas City Chiefs, yours you talking about, Val, is a plus 900. And in the fifth position would be the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers tied at 18-1. So Coach Justin thinks that the Baltimore Ravens, and I like that choice. I even like the Bills on there. But I truly think if I'm going to take a dark horse, I'm just talking out loud. But I would give you a favorite and a dark horse. My favorite to win the NFC to get to the bowl this year is going to be the Philly Eagles. My dark horse is going to get to the Super Bowl this year out of the NFC will be the Green Bay Packers. Put that down. I hate saying that. It's almost made me itch all the time. My clothes itching right now. But the Packers, I got them. So before I give you my AFC, Val, what do you think about the NFC? Give me two teams from the NFC. One you think can make it to the Super Bowl. A matter of fact, give me two teams you think can make it to the Super Bowl from the NFC, not the AFC, but the NFC.
The NFC. Okay. Let me take a look here. The AFC, right?
No, NFC. So put the chart back
the
up.
NFC.
Yep.
I'm putting the chart back up. Okay, here we go. I'm putting the chart back up. Let me get it up here. All right. Let's get it. All right. Let's get her up here.
And this is what your players and everything else. That's the AFC. So the NFC. Oh, that's NFC. So out of these four divisions in the NFC, who do you like in terms of the team that you can probably say this team will be in the Super Bowl, and then this team will possibly be in the Super Bowl?
Oh, okay. Well, let's do this. I believe that I'm looking at the 49ers in the West. I feel like they're going to continue to fight to get to and stay on top. It'll be a fight. I definitely see the Eagles continuing to push because they're showing up good right now. But over in the North and the South on the NFC, I didn't like being beat by the Detroit Lions, but I did like what I was seeing from them. So it could be they could show up. They could show up and be in the playoffs. And then also I'm looking at it'd be fun to see it would be fun to see the Falcons come.
Okay, so now you get the Eagles, the Falcons, the 49ers, and the Tigers. So out of those 14, which of those teams can make it to the Super Bowl? Between the Eagles, Falcons, 49ers, and the Detroit Lions. Give me one.
Give you one that could make it to the play.
Give me one. So drop everybody and give me one.
49ers.
I like that. And I like Nephew said that. And let's go to the AFC. Put that chart up. In the AFC, again, I do not think that Patrick Mahomes and the boys will make it this year, Val. I got them checked out. I mean, I love him. He could do it right now. I got to be with Coach Justin. I have been with the Baltimore Ravens from the beginning of the season. I think that the loss that they had to Buffalo in game one, I mean, it was game one. I think Lamar and the boys are going to wake up. And I think that the AFC goes through Baltimore this year. They are the team to lose, and with a close second of the Buffalo Bills. Who are you thinking?
The Bills. The Patriots, the Bills. It's between those two.
Okay, you like the Patriots and the Bills. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really like them like that. I'm just going. It's stats don't lie. Stats don't lie. So we're going with what I'm looking at right now.
And for promotional purposes, y'all may want to take the Patriots with Val said just to put your promotional dollars, because that I think. Let me look at real quick. What is the Patriots? The Patriots' chances of winning the Super Bowl. Oh my goodness, I ought to go way. Oh man, they are 125-1. So $100 on that brings you some nice change. Val, I'm gonna have to go ching. I'm gonna have to put that down there just to see. Hey, I'll break you off. You must, I'm gonna break you off a little bit. Hey, let's turn here real quick. Let's get to the sport that I love most of all and cover my girls in the WNBA. Coach Justin, I want to hear you out just talking about this, and it is going to be a shocker. I actually love how the WNBA do their entire playoffs. Down to 8 teams right now, Val, and round one. To get everybody up to speed real quick, this weekend, the Minnesota Lynx behind the Fisher Collier double-double knocked off Kelsey Plum and the Valkyrie. That's the new team that just came out, and I love that. Brand new team just came out, just created, and they already made it to the playoff. I think that's awesome. And Kelsey Plum just couldn't do enough, and they got beat. The Minnesota Lynx beat them 101-72 in that game there. And they represented it very well. And I think Minnesota is going to go on to win that series. I think they'll whop them out 2-0 and move on. And then the Indiana Fever. I know we talked so much, Val, this whole year about the Caitlin Clark fever. And, was it a situation that because she's hurt, did the league suffer some numbers being down from viewership and all of that? But Aaliyah Boston and these girls have got it rolling, and they got Indiana back to the playoffs. The problem is they're 6th seed. They're playing against your girl who, since she got caught up in Russia with that in her bag, she made it back.
Grindr.
And that's Brittany Griner. She got the Atlanta Dream rolling right now, and they just rolled past, Indiana yesterday, 80-68. So, those two teams with Minnesota and Atlanta, moving on, they've done some things of that nature. So, what do you think about them 2 games so far?
Well, you know what? Now, just to confirm, with the WNBA in the playoffs, it's the best of 3 of 5. I'm trying
best of 3. First round is best of 3. Championship games is best of 5. With the playoff, the Western Championship and the Eastern Championship is best of 5, but the first round is best of 3.
Yeah. So I like what I've seen from number one, the Aces, the loss.
God.
Yeah, I've loved what I've seen from the Aces. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And and I'm gonna tell you something about them real quick, Val. They have the longest winning streak of any team right now. They are 19-0. They're on a 19-game winning streak. I don't have them going all the way, but they're on a 19-game winning streak, and they opened up with the biggest victory yesterday at 102-77 versus Seattle. I know Skylar Diggins tried to do her best to keep Seattle in, but they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and AJ Wilson, just phenomenal from the Aces. So I like what I'm seeing from them, and I kind of see them kind of pushing really hard to go all the way. So.
Okay.
Definitely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big, Asia is big time. She's a South Carolina girl. She's a Dawn Staley protege. She's playing her butt off. She's got the big contract from Nike. One for Barry. They finally gave her a shoe. So she's doing her thing. And you were out in Vegas and got an opportunity to see their stadium.
I sure did. I was so. Let me stop this, Tony. I was so impressed. I was there for a business conference.
Yep.
And was in the arena that they play in, and then they showed their championship. What do you call it? Their banners,
Yep.
and said, "This is the house that the Aces built." And I was like, I feel so honored to be here. But Tony, it's a big thing. What do you love about that?
About that, what you just said?
Uh-huh.
The majority of the time when you hear that, it's always a men's team. Right?
I know.
Always a stadium that's built for the men, but this stadium was built for the women because Vegas don't have an NBA team. So this was the house that the Aces built, and I love it. And Vegas is Vegas. Vegas is Vegas. And they wrap their entire arm around these girls, and man, they have shown up. And again, they fought back to become a number 2 seed to let you know, hey, I know y'all ain't talking about us out here, but we right here.
Right. And it's, all the stadiums now they have some kind of sponsorship behind them. The Michelob Ultra Arena, as that's what it's called. And so we
Yep.
had our business partners it's such a large company. We had our conference in the Michelob Ultra Arena. So yeah.
And then their big sponsorship on the floor is by Bumley. And I didn't know who the hell Bumley was until I seen a commercial like in the middle of the game. And that's a dating site that does matchmaking for elderly. If you're over 50 years old.
Oh yeah. There's a movie coming out about that, but we'll talk about that on tomorrow night when we do the entertainment.
That is crazy. Well, we've covered half of the WNBA. Before we give you the second half and what we think of the other two divisions, we're going to take our last break of the day on the Pull Up Podcast Show. Val, get these people out of my pocket. I can't be come back in the season. They asking for money for bills already. We'll be right back.
I've always thought about how my mom has supported me in any creative endeavor. How beautiful was it for your mom to be the superhero in your life and show up in your creative ventures with this book?
People ask her to sign the book more than they ask me to sign the book. Sometimes I step to the side, I take their picture. And, we have to celebrate our mothers. We got to celebrate our beginning. So she comes out with me. Every event, she is there. Even when I tell her she does not need to come, she will show up in the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, okay, you coming? Okay. I'm like, all right.
Right. And she got a bottle of wine in her hand.
What in the world? Why are you giving her alcohol?
No, I'm just saying. She showed up in the parking lot. She got a bottle of wine, nice wine. She's going to set it down. She ready for the show, Val. You know what I'm saying? Because the funny part about it is, CJ, I've actually talked to Val. I thought about, writing a book myself called My Man's in Them.
I love it.
And look at Val.
My man's in them.
My man's in them. But you got to read the book. You got to read the book. But it's a play. CJ, I apologize because Val should have dropped some old Dub C so you could have came out crip walking. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not flamed up right now. I got to hold on. Trying to get me shot.
Going back to school tomorrow, like, I saw you, Miss Charles. I saw you.
I mean, I can crip walk, so please, but I'm kind of, authoring right now. You guys are funny.
Man, as we come down the stretch here, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. Of course, I'm riding the night in my sidekick like Laurel and Hardy in that little bitty, motorcycle with Val the voice. But she's giving me the directions. She may be down there, but I'm Scoop. She give me the, hey, turn left, turn right. You know what I'm saying? But hey, back to the WNBA. Let's take this thing back to your back door, back to the N, to the Y, to the C with the new Liberty and Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Asiona. They both put up numbers. They both have done big things. The only thing about this team, and Justin, I want to hear from you. Trey, I want to hear from you. A couple of people that's out there tonight is the Liberty have slipped. They're the number 3 seed. With the Aces on a 19-game winning streak has moved to number 2. Question is their West team. Their East Coast team. So now you've got Minnesota out west, the Aces out west, the Liberties on the east. And the question is, can the Liberty make it back to championship form? I think so. I don't see anyone else. I have it as the New York is going to possibly play the Atlanta Dream with Brittany Griner. I think that's what's possibly happen. I'm sorry. The Liberty is going to play the Lynx. Right? I apologize. Going to play Minnesota to get over. And I think A'ja Wilson will get by Brittany Griner. I don't think Brittany Griner is going to be able to stop A'ja. A'ja's averaging like a double-double almost every game. And, in the squad that she's got back, they lost Kelsey Plum, but they haven't slowed down one bit. They still run a lot of ball screens, and she's doing her thing right now. And if you look at this playoff picture right now, I think that in terms of the Liberty, where the Liberty had an opportunity to play the Lynx last year. I don't think it happens this year. And I'm going to tell you something that's really weird about the WNBA, Val.
What?
So let me give this learning lesson real quick to the people that's listening.
Okay.
In the NBA, the playoff system never changes. Okay.
Okay.
You have the East and you have the West. Okay. So the Lakers will always be in the West, right? The Bulls will be in the East. And depending on where it goes and it goes out, you play who you have on your side and then you match up. The WNBA doesn't do it like that. This is why you have what you're looking at right now. What the WNBA has, you have the East and you have the West. But what the WNBA does, Val, is they take 1 through 8 because they lump all the teams together. And wherever you fall, that's where you play. So last year, the number 2 seed was the Lynx on one side, and the 1 seed was the New York Liberty on the other. That's why they met in the championship game. But this year, the Aces were behind A'ja Wilson, has played their butts off, and they've worked to the number 2 slot on a 19-game winning streak. And I think they close out the series versus Seattle and win that 2-0 and get some rest. And Minnesota's still the number 1 seed. And because of that, Val, your beloved New York Liberty falls to number 3. So unfortunately for them, they get put in the same side of the division with Napheesa Collier and these Minnesota Lynx. And I think they get knocked out. And for promotional purposes only, take it to the bank. Coach Tony's got the Minnesota Lynx playing A'ja Wilson. The Vegas will get back to the championship game. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll come out victorious. I got Minnesota winning it all.
Okay, because I think I see where you're coming from that, because Minnesota almost made it last year.
They didn't make it. They made it to the championship game. The last 2 got beat.
They made it. Yeah, so since they made it all the way to the end, but unfortunately lost. It's just making those I guess, subtle changes and who plays and who steps up in their thing. I was looking at information about the New York Liberty, but I think I'll have to agree with you with Minnesota because they're hungry. I think they're gonna fight to make it, and this might be the year that they go all the way and win it, because the last two times they were there, but they ended up losing.
Yep. And the thing about it is what you just said. I'll go back to add on to what you were just the line you were going down. You lose the last couple of years barely, and you played great games.
You did,
You look at still the number 2 and number 3 position. So you don't lose them. So you still got that fight in you, and you still got that anger, and you still pissed off, right? Val beat me. I want her to make it because that's the one team I know if I can beat that team, then I'm ready for the championship. And I think that they are set up again. I think that A'ja Wilson with her brand new shoe from Nike, the A01, which I like. And by the way, A'ja, I need you to come and talk to me. Get on the podcast because I'm about to have my girls wear your shoe for the basketball season. So come on now, support your boy. Come on, get it, Coach Tony. But I think that I've had Minnesota from the beginning of the year, and I put them in my FanDuel for promotional purposes, and I've got them, and I don't think that that's going to stop. I think that Napheesa Collier got hurt, and no one needs to be, but if she got hurt at the right time, Val, and they set her down for almost 6 or 7 games. But now she's back, and she's back right at the playoff, and she's playing her way back into playoff shape. That's dangerous for everybody else because she's hungry.
It is. Yeah. And the game that I did check out was the New York Liberty against the Phoenix Mercury. So I did check that out because, I'm checking out New York because they won last year.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I kind of feel like with their team, I think they came in at number 5. Liberty Guard Natasha Cloud did phenomenal and leading with 23 points. And this is really, really, really good. But I have to say, Mercury, Alyssa Thomas.
That's who threw triple to the ground.
Right. Oh my gosh. That's what I remember seeing and some what do you call that? Commentaries about that. And I was like, oh my gosh, they showed what happened over the season. I'm like, what's happening?
Exactly. And speaking of our girl, Angel Reese, I want to make sure we clear this up on the air tonight. It appears that when she spoke out of turn a few weeks ago that she wanted out of Chicago, she just didn't feel that the city, she loved the city, she loved everything, but she just didn't feel that the organization with the Sky was putting the right money behind it, Val, to give her a team that could win. It seems as though last week they worked things out. The general manager spoke. He made a comment that he and Angel Reese has sat down and worked things out, and she will be back in Chicago next year. So that's
I got a little nervous when that story broke a couple of weeks ago because the excitement around, and it's here in Chicago, the Wintrust Arena. She did a lot of community service, reach out to the high schools in Chicago, as well as other community-based organizations. They would have her. So there are a lot of young girls, especially in high school, that play, and in Chicago, women's basketball is great. It's huge. So I really feel like she's good for our city. She's good for the morale of young women that want to get into professional basketball. So I got my fingers crossed that, like, let's win a championship as the Chicago Sky, and let's go, because I think maybe that's probably one of the reasons why, unfortunately, they didn't make it to the playoffs, because of that thing happening. If you don't feel good about your team and the roadies, if you don't feel good about what's happening in management, you may not want to. You may not push real hard to win those championships. I don't know. That's just my own opinion.
Yeah. And while I make a comment, I want you to go pull up a picture. Hopefully you can show it. And I'm going to speak to something that Val talked about. I want you to go pull up the picture of Hyde Park. And Angel Reese has donated with Cash App. So if you type in Angel Reese and Cash App does these outside basketball courts, and she's done one in the city of Chicago down off Lake Park Avenue, which is, for those that are familiar in the city, that's in Hyde Park. It's beautiful. She's got it the color of the sky, blue and yellow with the colors on it. And it's great. And what Val just said, Angel Reese is not only great for Chicago, she is great for the game of basketball and what the young girls in the city of Chicago have looked up to. I've personally been there with my AAU team, as she's been a rookie over the last couple of years. I've been to some games to the Sky, and I see that what she's done. And the girl has nothing but been phenomenal. She's a double machine. She set all of her WNBA records with the Sky. And if you look at it, Val, the last time we won a ring was a similar person, and our own beloved Candace Parker from Naperville, that came in and did the same thing, and then she went back to LA. So I'm thinking, get Angel some help. She got a girl from the Gamecocks who was there, the post player. I can't think of her name right now, but she's got her. She's got a couple of rookies that are just playing right now. But get her some help. Get her a shooter. Get her somebody that's going to get her the ball. Do some things. Make some changes, Sky. But whatever you do not let Angel get out of this city, right? We already had, Mike's retired. Derrick Rose just had his jersey, and I'm doing a lot to get Derrick Rose on this show. D Rose, holla at your boy, Coach Tony, Southside, baby. Get at me from Simeon. Get up on this show. I want to talk about the documentary, talk about everything, because you are Chicago's love child, man, and all that. And right here, this is a picture for those that don't know. This is absolutely phenomenal. Angel Reese has got these two outside donated courts. And at a time right now, Val, where these kids need somewhere to go, right? Because drive-by shootings and things of that nature. And, you know, the 47 want to say the city is so bad and send these guards and doing things in. Don't send these freaking National Guards downtown to where it's pretty. Send them out in the hood where things are really going on if you want to make a difference. But Angel Reese, she's making a difference. And she's doing it with the game of basketball. And she's doing it by beautifying some of these courts that I used to play on, Val, back in the day, that's been run down. And she's donating her hard-earned money to get these courts back up, brand new backboards painted, and welcoming the young youth of Chicago back outside, because these kids do not play ball outside no more like we used to. So, Angel.
Right. Thank you. And this was done earlier this summer, around June or July.
Correct.
And they said for Cash App, this is the initiative and expanding the footprint in the sports world, including these partnerships. And the great thing is that with her doing this, as you said, Angel Reese expressed her enthusiasm and said that the court is more than just a place to hoop. It's a place where girls can see what's possible for them on and off the court. And I'm excited to work with Cash App to create more opportunities for the next generation of basketball players and leaders. And that's according to the Chicago Crusader. So, yeah.
It's a business move, Al. Like she said, we ain't playing ball. It's a business move right there, right? I got my name on the court from a city that I'm not even from. But yet and still I'm there and I'm making a difference. That's killer.
That's always making a difference. Let's do this real quick. No, let me do this real quick. We're officially into overtime.
Yeah, you know, that's what happens when you come out on the fourth season. You're an award-winning show. You know, you got a lot of information to give, you know. But listen, as we come down to the end of the show, I want to thank each and everybody for checking in tonight. We have got some phenomenal guests that are going to be coming up. We're going to talk about that for a minute. But this logo behind me right here, this is what it's all about. You know, I've had an opportunity to kind of work and put together the Rise. And the Rise is some things that I do. And it's been a local, you know, Val and I always talk. We laugh and joke about me working and mentoring the youth. But it gives me the opportunity to work with the Rise as my sports agency. You can reach out to me at www.therisenil.com, where you can learn a little bit more about how you as an athlete can reach your highest potential. We make sure that we get brands to talk to you. We make sure you unleash the best potential you can be. And then we want to make sure you can maximize everything that you can maximize through your earning potentials. We do that by building your presence. We do that by reaching out to athletes. We do that by our personalized services. And then we also do that by we earn your trust and make sure that you're getting monetized for that. So we appreciate everything you do. And again, on my IG, reach out to me as well, but get in touch with the Rise NIL so we can help you do everything you can in this space right now. And by the way, my girl who got a book, and let me tell y'all something, she up there bragging, then got it into her cousin's hand. He reading it. He telling you how boss the book is, and you're sleeping, you're this and that. My girl Val Voice wrote a book called The DJ Saved My Life. And I don't mean skip it. That was a part of it. But Val, tell them about this book real quick so they can make sure they get a copy.
Well, make sure you pick up a copy of A DJ Saved My Life. I'm really excited about the book. And also it's a personal memoir of how being a virtual DJ and podcaster saved my life during our dark time recently with the pandemic. But I also give you the ABCs of starting your own podcast. So, of course, you can go to purelighthouse.media.com and visit the store and get your print copy and also merch at purelighthouse.media.com/shop. And like I said, you'll get a signed copy. Because I've been out here in these streets signing the copies.
And you get a copy.
You get a copy. We all get a copy up in this piece. What?
As they say, what? DMX, what? What you really want from what? Come on, man. Tell me so. Man, hey, don't get me started up in here. And listen, as the
Next
show
week.
moves on, the coach is back in his house, with my boy. The
Walter?
guy that I got coming up next week was very instrumental in me. I've been knowing this coach over 15 seasons, and he gave me a lot of just, knowledge on not only helping my kids through the AAU get to the next level, but, Coach John Saint-Aignan was just, instrumental in helping me learn the international game, getting kids overseas that still wanted to play. He's a West Coast guy, holds all-time scoring record in the West. I know y'all talking about Jason Kidd and all these boys, but Coach John, pure shooter, man, coming out the Bay Area, California, right? That's what they usually say.
So I thought John was the 29th and Walter's next week.
No, Walt's on the 29th. John's next week. So y'all make sure y'all tune in for Coach John Saint-Aignan. We'll be just checking him out next week on the podcast. And then, as Val mentioned and gave the secret away, Coach Walter Jordan, for those that know him, a Purdue legend, also has a book. Coach John has a book we're going to talk about, but Coach Walter Jordan is coming to us at the end of the month on the 29th to talk a little bit about his life, his legacy in the Purdue uniform, where that's led him to the professional ranks, and now he's writing a book about it. So I'm excited to have these men, just grace the stage, for the next 2 weeks. And then I got some more, but as we move on, we'll give those to you. So make sure, as I keep saying, don't meet me, but beat me there. So you'll always be sitting in the house ready to rock and roll. And we appreciate you, on everything
And
you do.
of course, and tomorrow night we are back. We're back, and I want to make sure that I tell Tony what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. You probably didn't get a chance to do it, but of course I watched it. The Emmy Awards, a beautiful dedication done to Malcolm Jamal Warner. But then on top of everything, there's a couple of films and TV shows that we should be checking out for the fall season that's coming up, including the Jordan Peele produced film called Him.
Oh, yeah. And I saw that the brother one brought his mom to the show. I really like that.
Yes, we'll be talking about him. And he's an actor, won Best Supporting Actor. First time for an African American to win for Best Supporting Actor in a drama series. Mm-hmm. Servants. I have not seen Servants. It's on Apple TV. So Tony will be making recommendations of series that we both need to check out, because that's a show I totally forgot about.
And let me tell you something. You got to listen to these. Let me see. As Val said earlier in the show, put your ear on the phone. Put your ear way up here. You got to listen.
Come here.
Because she had me listen to Highest Lowest. Oh, Spike, my boy, my sister, tight with you. Man, get up on the podcast with me, man. So we can talk. I love that film. A lot of people had a controversy with it. They talked a little bit about they couldn't understand this, they couldn't understand that because A$AP Rocky, the way he was, and they couldn't believe what a rapper did. But not to change this show, but tune in tomorrow night. We'll talk about that show, right? Hey, I appreciate you guys. And as I'm pointing to my sidekick right here, my sidekick right here, man, this is your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. This has been the Pull Up Podcast Show, riding tonight with my girl, Val the Voice Johnson, and we appreciate you. But at the end of the show, we got to go. So, peace.
Peace.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the boys and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. So, I said bounce the boys and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, So I said, Cam, this the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.